Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this April the 6th, 2025. I'm hoping everybody had a great Sunday out there so far. Everybody had a great Sunday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be taking a look at the storm system here along the East Coast. Also, the one that's fixing to impact the western U.S. as well and trek east across the United States. Scattered activity down across South America as well, and with scattered activity in the Eastern Pacific. But here's the storm system here that brought all the severe weather from Texas to the Ohio River Valley, slowly pushing east as that cold front continues to slowly inch its way to the coastal areas of the United States coastal waters. But you can see a lot of deep convection stretching from Louisiana through Mississippi, Georgia, into portions of South Carolina, also into portions of North Carolina. Some activity stretching from Virginia into Maine, also up around St. John's Island as well. Here's that storm system here moving into the Pacific Northwest, over around Washington, Oregon State, also in portions of Northern California. That will continue to trek across the U.S. and bring a maybe some wintry precipitation. Severe weather looks limited at this time, but the only severe weather for tonight is pretty much just along from Alabama into portions of Georgia and over into Tennessee, maybe western portions of South Carolina. We'll show you tomorrow's outlook stretching from portions of Florida through the Carolinas and also into southeastern Virginia. We'll show you that as well. Alright, like I said in the beginning of the video, there's some scattered activity across South America, Central America, and the Eastern Pacific as well. And there's that activity up around St. John's Island also. Alright, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's continue getting the show on the road here, folks. Alright, you can see here is your Monday forecast. You can see we got some mixed precipitation from New Brunswick to Maine to New Hampshire to Vermont to New York State to Pennsylvania, portion of West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, portion of southern Michigan, northeastern portion of Illinois. Even got some snow flying across Michigan to Wisconsin, northern Michigan, even across southeastern Canada, around Toronto area as well. Also around Lake Superior, Lake Huron region as well. Shower activity from Massachusetts to Rhode Island to Delaware, D.C., down into portion of western North Carolina, Alabama, and Louisiana, into the northern Gulf. Low pressure system down in the Gulf of Mexico. Got a triple low pressure system with really 5 areas of low pressure. One in the Gulf, one across Georgia, upstate South Carolina, Virginia, and also in the Atlantic coastal water with thunderstorms and showers ahead of that front from portions of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Atlantic coastal waters, the Gulf, stretching back into the Florida Panhandle and portions of Alabama. And you can see that severe weather risk down here across Florida, Georgia, and it should be stretched up into South Carolina. We'll show you the new outlook earlier. That stretches up into portions of South Carolina as well. That yellow slashed area should be stretched a little further to the north. In that, but we'll show you that when we get to the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook. Alright, here's mixed precipitation over Montana, portion of Wyoming, Idaho, Washington, Oregon State, California, coastal showers, and also some inland showers going for a portion of California, Oregon, and Washington State, and also along the coastal waters as well. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Monday. Alright, here's your Tuesday outlook now. You can see we got some snow flying up here from portions of New Brunswick to Maine to New York State, portion of northern Pennsylvania, southeast Canada, around Toronto, Ottawa, Canada region. Heavy snow over portions of northern Maine, stretching back into eastern Canada. Mixed precipitation along the coastal waters, also in the portion of southeast Maine, portion of New Brunswick, and also portion of Newfoundland. We got some thunderstorms and showers down in the Atlantic, down to the northern portions of the Bahamas, Florida Keys, and the portion of the Gulf. You can see those areas of low pressure stretching from the central southeastern Gulf off the South Carolina coast, another one off the North Carolina coast, another one in the Atlantic coastal water, and also another one in the portions off the Newfoundland coast. Here's another cold low pressure system over southeast Canada. There's that cold front stretching all the way back into the next low pressure system located over into Nebraska and Montana. Alright, we got shower activity from Illinois to Iowa to South and North Dakota to Montana, South Canada, portion of northern Nebraska. Mixed precipitation in portions of Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington State, and also some shower activity along coastal areas and the eastern Pacific as well. Alrighty, otherwise expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Tuesday. Alright, let's move on to the current watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. Alright, you can see we got some hydro issues and wind advisory over portion of Nevada. We got frost advisories and freeze warnings in Texas. More freeze warning for Oklahoma and the portion of Kansas over to Missouri. Also some frost advisory, freeze warning in portion of Arkansas there as well. Got freeze watches stretching from portion of Missouri to Illinois to portion of Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, even in the portion of Kentucky. Got a lot of flood warnings in effect also from Ohio down to Kentucky, also in the portion of Indiana, Illinois, portion of Missouri. A lot of river flood warnings continue also in effect from portion of Tennessee down to Arkansas to Mississippi, Louisiana, East Texas, also Alabama. Flood watches and flood warnings are in effect for you guys in Alabama, portion of Georgia. There's a tornado watch with a few severe thunderstorm warnings in Georgia, severe thunderstorm warning there in Alabama. Got lake wind advisory here in central South Carolina and also in central Savannah River area of Georgia. Alright, got some flood warnings also in effect and flood advisories down in portions of the Florida Panhandle and also southern areas of Mississippi and Alabama. Alright, we got smoke crack advisory, gale warning from up here around the Boston area, stretching all the way to the Miami, Florida region, and then from the Tallahassee, Florida region in the Big Bend area to around the Brownsville, Texas area, and then from around Santa Cruz Island all the way up to Seattle, Washington area, along coastal areas, small craft advisories there as well. Also around Honolulu, Hawaii, all the way up to the Hawaii and offshore waters. We got some small craft advisories, also some high surf warnings in effect. Coastal flood warnings also in effect there as well. Alright, small craft advisory, freeze and spray warnings around the Alaska region also. Alright, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center outlook. This is the outlook for you Monday. You can see here's that severe weather risk stretching from Tallahassee to Savannah to far as north is Columbia, South Carolina, maybe over towards Sumter area. This is where the slight risk included. Marginal risk from Dalton, Alabama to just around the Columbia area, northwest to also northeastward, can't get it out there, over to Wilmington, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, down to Jacksonville, and also just west of Tampa. And then a general thunderstorm around Orlando to Fort Myers, also up toward Atlanta, Raleigh, and Charlotte. Just general thunderstorms over here, portion of just north of Boise, Idaho, Pendleton, Oregon, and northern portions of Washington State and northern areas of Idaho. Alright, let's take a look at the tornado probability. Look like this. It's got a change on me here, but we're going to take a look at the tornado. Here it is. You can see, let me go back to it. There we go. 5% around Tallahassee to Jacksonville to Savannah to Columbia, South Carolina, southeast. Maybe a little bit up into portions of Kershaw County. Could be a 5% risk for a tornado. From Dalton all the way to Wilmington to Charleston, just west of Tampa and just northwest of Columbia. There's a 2% risk for a tornado. On your Monday, damaging winds, pretty much the same area, 5 and 15%. Large hail looks like this, 5% stretching into portions of the PD region, Columbia, Charleston, down toward Jacksonville, east of Tallahassee, Columbus, east of Columbus, Georgia. You're in the 5% risk for large hail. Alright, we're going to go ahead and try to get you ready for this here. The hurricane season. As you can see, here is the Atlantic Basin 2025 hurricane season. This is from the Colorado State University. We're looking at total named storms, 17 for what they're predicting. Average is 14. Season 2024 was 18. They expected 9 hurricanes this year, 7 on average, 11 last year on 2024. Category 3 plus, where they're expecting 4 major hurricanes. Average is 3, and the season last year was 5. So they just bumped it up. They just kind of went right down the middle between 3 and 5. So they decided to go with 4. They decided to go with 9, pretty much between 8 and 9. So they decided to go with 9, and then 17. So they kind of went in the middle there as well. Leaned a little more toward the 18 as it was last year. But here is the totals once again. Total names 17, hurricanes 9, 4 major hurricanes for 2025. So, alrighty, we'll show you the names of the hurricanes season when we get, maybe a little bit later on. But just want to go ahead and give you an update. This is what the hurricane season looks like from the Colorado State University. The NOAA should put their prediction out a little bit later on. So, alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. We'll catch you back in the next one. So have a wonderful Sunday evening, folks. Take care, and also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. And make sure you subscribe so I can reach that 600 subscriber mark as soon as possible. Thanks, everyone, and have a great one.